Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back on the channel, man. Hey, we got a chilling scares today. We got people who recorded their last moments. So tragic, bro.
Very.
Especially, you know, like, when you really think about it. Oh, did you see Ozzy Osbourne joint? I guess his daughter had recorded him. And he was just at the computer table. It was like the last video that was uploaded online of him. He just looked like an elderly man. He didn't look like ill, sick, or anything. He was in good spirit, happy, smiling.
Yeah, I don't see it though. Yeah,
I seen it the other day, and I was like, that's crazy. He was spending time with her and I guess the grandbaby, one of the grandkids, and I was like, shout out to Ozzy, man. You ever watch that show? Mm-hmm. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
But a lot been going on, man.
Facts.
RIP to everyone who's unfortunately has passed away in recent. The other day was like just waves, and it was like, bro, is it gonna stop, man? But again, condolences to those families and RIP to all those unfortunate individuals, right? But hey, make sure you check out the links in the description box
down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. You gotta do it. Check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
liking it with a thumbs up.
Man, let's get it. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ivan Lester McGuire was a 35-year-old skydiving expert who lived in the small town of Franklinton, North Carolina. He worked as a skydiving cameraman at the now-defunct Franklin County Sports Parachute Center, where his job was to capture photos and videos of clients who wanted their skydive jumps recorded. He'd been doing this every day for years, and April 2nd, 1988 was no different. Unfortunately, what began as just another routine workday would end in a sudden, irreversible tragedy. The day began smoothly, with Ivan successfully completing 2 dives by late afternoon. But it was an unusually busy Saturday, and before the sun could set, he was called in for a 3rd jump. He was already exhausted by this point, but didn't want fatigue to get in the way of his job, so he agreed to the dive. The plane took off from the runway located right next to the sports center, and within just 15 minutes, it was soaring 10,500 feet in the air.
I got a question because I'm sure somebody watching this has gone skydiving. Is it really like going skydiving? Is it like really a lot of fatigue on the body? Like you just afterwards, you're like, bro, I'm so drained. You know, like doing certain things, especially when it's like because it's so much adrenaline rushing out the body. It's like okay, afterwards, it's like once I calm down my nerves and it feels like I done did so much, and it's like you know.
Yeah.
I wonder how's the after effect of it.
Sports Center, and within just 15 minutes, it was soaring 10,500 feet in the air. After reaching this desired altitude, Ivan jumped first, making sure to keep his helmet-mounted camera pointed towards the client and their accompanying skydiving instructor. What you're looking at right now is a part of the footage that he captured. A few seconds after the jump, the other instructor opened his parachute, which was Ivan's cue to open his own. But when he reached for his ripcord, it wasn't there. Panic set in as he frantically disregarded getting a good shot and searched his body for the ripcord, hoping it was just stuck somewhere. And that's when he made the horrifying discovery. He wasn't wearing a parachute at all. And since the other instructor had already opened his parachute, he couldn't help Ivan in any way either. After realizing his situation, the only words that came out of Ivan's mouth were, "Oh my God, no." The footage then became blurry as Ivan sped up to 150 miles per hour, or over 240 kilometers per hour. He crash-landed in a wooded area near the runway and likely passed away the instant he hit the ground. When rescue workers found his body, his camera equipment and the VHS tape he was recording on were broken into multiple pieces. Fortunately, investigators were able to splice together enough working sections to get a good picture of what happened before he jumped. They were able to rule out both foul play and the possibility that Ivan had intentionally chosen not to wear a parachute. But if that's the case, how could a seasoned expert with over 800 successful skydives under his belt simply forget to put on his parachute? Unfortunately, none of the evidence the investigators were able to gather answered this question. But given his circumstances, a few popular theories have emerged that offer possible explanations for what might have gone wrong. The first of which is that this incident was the result of nothing more than ill-fated complacency. As I mentioned earlier, Ivan had already completed 2 jumps that day and was exhausted before getting on the plane for the 3rd time. Maybe he assumed he was completely geared up, when in reality he was missing the most crucial piece of equipment. However, if he wasn't wearing anything on his shoulders, someone around him would have almost certainly noticed before the jump. Which brings us to the second and more likely possibility. The incident happened because of his camera equipment. You see, unlike today where a tiny action cam is all it takes to film a skydive, back in the 1980s, recording that footage required bulky camera gear that had to be worn in a backpack. There's a chance Ivan and the others around him mistook this camera bag for the parachute and didn't realize the truth until it was too late. That said, while Ivan wasn't fortunate enough to survive, the footage of his accident stands as a sobering reminder for skydivers to always double, even triple check their gear.
But it's so many times where people do, like, unfortunately fail to check. And I do think it would really be fatigue. Because when you hear about these crashes, a lot of times it'd be, like, it's not the first jump. It's, like, the 3rd, 4th, sometimes 5th jump. And it's, like, that's why I asked the question, like, is it, like, how is it with the experiences? Do you get fatigue? Because the body is kind of in shock, and then it comes to, and you know, typically when your body's in shock, and it comes back to you, kind of like, oh, okay. But it takes the body a while to build back up. So I wonder how spaced out are the jumps.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It was a RP, man.
Yeah.
That's one of the scariest ways to go out. Because it's just free falling to your death.
Just falling. And you know it's about to, you know, what's to come. And you're just waiting.
And you're going fast.
150 miles per hour.
And that impact. Oh my gosh.
On the 15th of January 2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 took off from Kathmandu's Tribhuvan International Airport at around 10:30 a.m. It was a domestic flight headed for the Pokhara International Airport, located roughly 124 miles or 200 kilometers west of the takeoff location. Things started off just as everyone hoped, with the plane taking off, climbing, cruising, and even descending without any issues. And as it was about to land at the Pokhara airport, one of the passengers started live streaming on Facebook from within the cabin. This passenger was a 25-year-old Indian man named Sanu Jaiswal. He was an adventurous young man who loved nothing more than exploring new places with his friends and experiencing their beauty firsthand. This time he had traveled to Nepal as a tourist with 3 of his close friends, and after enjoying Kathmandu to its fullest, the 4 of them were headed to Pokhara to experience paragliding. He was excited for the upcoming adventure and wanted to share this moment with his entire social circle, which is why he started streaming. What none of his viewers knew, however, was that this was going to be the last time they would see Sanu alive. Because just a minute after he started streaming, the situation took a terrifying turn as the camera became disoriented and the laughter turned to screaming. What followed was an extremely loud explosion. Somehow the phone stayed intact and continued streaming everything to Sanu's friends and family. But all they could see at this point was nothing short of horrific, with the entire camera feed getting covered in raging flames, and worst of all, the screaming suddenly coming to a halt. Something had gone horribly wrong, and it wasn't long before people found out exactly what. Flight 691 had somehow crashed into the riverbank a few hundred meters away from the airport. The crash also caused the remaining fuel to ignite, so by the time the rescue workers arrived on the scene, there was nothing left. The crash and the resulting fire had taken the lives of the 4 crew members and the 68 passengers. Sanu was among these casualties, as he unknowingly recorded his own final moments with no idea of the tragedy that was about to unfold. The only silver lining in this accident was that the plane barely missed the populated area right next to the river, which would have likely doubled, if not tripled, the losses. As for how things went so horribly wrong when the rest of the flight had been relatively smooth, a months-long investigation concluded that it was mostly due to human error. You see, the flight was originally supposed to land on runway 30, but for some unknown reason the pilot requested to land on the indirect runway 12. Now, the co-pilot, Anju Kariwada, was under training at the time, so it's possible the pilot requested the alternative route to teach her how to land at an awkward angle. Unfortunately, while the plane was turning, she misinterpreted a command and accidentally switched both engine propellers to the feathered position. This resulted in the engine stalling, the plane losing control, turning over, and crashing into the riverbank. Put simply, a single unfortunate mistake cost the lives of dozens of people and uprooted the lives of hundreds of family members.
That is so tragic, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Do that training shit. If I'm gonna do it somewhere, you know what I'm saying? I understand you gotta train and try before, you know what I'm saying? But please, don't do that. Don't be trying shit while I'm, you know?
Saying, like, it should just be the person, the trainee, and the trainer.
But you want to train while also
There's
people, you do.
You want to.
But, I mean, damn, bro.
But in situations like that, you do. I mean, because we are human, right?
Yeah.
But you make mistakes like that, and it literally costs people their lives, yourself and others. It's so sad. And it's even more sad to know that, for the family to, have that recording, to see your loved one, just...
As you see...
they're almost, about to land. And they just
home.
recording almost home. And they're smiling. They're happy. They just had a great trip. Whatever.
Yo.
And they're gone.
Gone in an instant. And not only that, it's like you watching it in real time. It's not like we heard about what happened. It's like you visibly see it.
To see and hear
the screams
that's devastating.
And the fact that everything ended
Happened quick.
That's scary, bro.
On June 16, 2013, 29-year-old Yevgeny Titov noticed a demolition happening near his work in Lipetsk, Russia. He was on his lunch break and had plenty of time to admire the work being done. So he took out his phone and started recording the demolition. Unfortunately, watching this demolition was about to become the worst decision of his life. Now, I should mention that Yevgeny was being as cautious as he could. He was standing at least twice as far from the building being destroyed as the two men in front of him. Yevgeny was also standing off to the side, since given the demolition method, the debris looked like it was going to fall towards the excavator. Tragically, that is not what happened. As the excavator pulled the wall beyond its tipping point, it didn't detach cleanly and rotated mid-air, sending massive bricks and other debris hurling toward Yevgeny. And while the men standing nearby were nearly missed, Yevgeny wasn't so lucky. He was thrown to the ground by flying debris, with the impact leaving him critically wounded while others rushed over to help. Paramedics were called and rushed him to the hospital. Sadly, it was too late. Yevgeny had suffered multiple complex fractures, damaged organs, and serious brain trauma.
Wow.
He passed away shortly after reaching the hospital, leaving his wife and 3-year-old daughter behind. All because he wanted to watch a building being demolished from what he believed was a safe distance. The company in charge of the demolition was charged with criminal negligence for failing to establish an effective perimeter around the worksite, with the video Yevgeny captured serving as a crucial piece of evidence. However, no legal penalty could rewind time or erase the damage that had already been done.
That is fast, man. So which one exactly was him?
The one in the white shirt.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because he said he was at distance twice as far as the two.
He said, but he was the one that was at the angle. The other ones. Yeah, it was the one in the white shirt that was in the video. I guess.
23-year-old Helen Wendy Niabuto moved from Kenya to Canada on a 10-year study visa when she was just 20 years old. By 2022, she was close to completing her education while also working as a nurse and a personal support worker in the Toronto area. Things were going well for Helen, but things took a tragic turn in August of 2022 when a single accident wiped out everything she had worked so hard to build. She was hired as a personal support worker by someone living in the small town of Chatsworth, Ontario. She decided to rent a room in the only motel in Chatsworth to accommodate this job, and started living there. The place wasn't too shabby, but the thing that caught Helen's eye was the motel's outdoor swimming pool. So on August 8, she found enough free time to go for a swim while also live streaming her experience on Facebook. She had the pool all to herself, and it was every bit as peaceful and relaxing as she'd hoped. However, just as she was starting to enjoy swimming, disaster struck. About 10 minutes after getting into the pool, she decided to swim toward the deep end. Unfortunately, just seconds after entering the deep end, she lost control and began drowning. She desperately called for help with the little air she had left. Tragically, there was no one to hear her.
Wow.
After struggling in the water for nearly a minute, Helen lost the fight and passed away just outside the range of her phone's camera, which continued streaming everything live on Facebook. Her last words stating, "Let me enjoy some water," took on a much darker meaning as her live viewers waited for someone to notice Helen. However, she remained unnoticed for nearly 3 hours until 2 other guests finally arrived at the pool and made the heartbreaking discovery while the live stream was still going. But these guests couldn't even believe what they were looking at first.
Why is there just a dead person in the water?
I know that scared the when I got it. I think it's a poodle or something.
That looks so realistic.
I know. I got in and I was like, is it somebody? Walk over there. Just walk over there.
Like, what if it's actually somebody dead? Because I'm not even trolling, that looks way too real.
They eventually realized the truth and immediately contacted the motel management. By the time someone checked on Helen, she was long gone. The live stream helped prove that this was nothing more than a terrible accident, though that did little to soften the blow for her family. As her father stated, "I watched the video, I cried, it's terrible." What made the tragedy even more devastating was that Helen was the sole breadwinner for her family. Without her, they couldn't even afford to bring her body home to Kenya. Fortunately, when the story made headlines, the internet came together and raised over 66,000 Canadian dollars to cover her funeral expenses and help her family in their time of need, giving a somewhat bright ending amongst an absolutely tragic situation.
It's heartbreaking.
Man, that's what you said.
That's heartbreaking.
Tragic, bro. Like, you gotta, like, just enjoying the day. But I ain't gonna hold you. She must couldn't swim.
She probably couldn't, but she probably
And Mi-
couldn't and didn't
Miss
realize
Judge
that it was like
did
wasn't
that
the
deep.
same. Yeah.
But don't they have those markers though?
Yeah, true.
They have
But
markers,
this
and you
is
see how deep the pool is. But also this could have been a hotel that probably.
I mean, they could or could maybe.
But
they
I'm sure
did.
we would have heard like a civil suit or something, because if you don't have the markers, then that's negligence.
Maybe she just didn't realize. I don't know, but you could, yeah, just
Because typically pools like that are no deeper than 6 feet, right? Especially at like a hotel
in a
and stuff.
hotel.
Like, especially those type of hotels, some real small, like small
Yeah.
basic hotels. It's not as deep as like a massive hotel that might be a little deeper, you know. And so you would think.
Hey, yeah.
But when she swam off, I was like, oh, she could swim a little bit.
I think some people can swim enough or float,
Man, nah.
but you can't like. I don't know.
Because the reason with that, those who could swim enough wouldn't have drowned.
I hear you.
I don't think they would have drowned in something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
feel you. I don't know what happened.
Tragic.
I'm just.
R.I.P.
Armin Schmieder was a 28-year-old Italian man with a love for extreme sports. He originally started with skydiving and performed countless jumps across Europe. But as time went on, he started getting bored of skydiving and wanted to try something even more extreme. So, sometime in 2015, he switched from skydiving to wingsuit base jumping. Learning a brand new sport, especially one as dangerous as wingsuit base jumping, was quite risky. But Armin managed to pull through and became quite proficient at it in just 1 year. What he didn't know, however, was that his luck was about to run out. On the 26th of August 2016, Armin climbed to the summit of Mount Kangersteg in the Swiss Alps. On this day, he wanted to livestream his adventure, which started with him putting on the equipment and getting ready for the jump. But since he didn't have any streaming-capable action camera or a secure mount for his phone, he came up with an alternative solution, where once he was fully geared up, he told his viewers, "Today you fly with me," and put the phone in his pocket. All his viewers could see now was the darkness inside of his pocket, with some light bleeding through the fabric. But the audio was still clear enough to understand what was going on, like Armin counting down and making the jump.
Fly.
Things seemed to be going as expected. However, about 20 seconds after he made the jump, his phone captured the sounds of Armin screaming, crashing into the mountainside and rapidly rolling down the steep terrain. The fall ended with Armin landing in the middle of a cow pasture, now being completely silent. His viewers quickly contacted the authorities, who spent the next few hours looking for him. Unfortunately, by the time they found him, it was already too late. Armin had succumbed to his injuries and passed away. And while the Swiss authorities never released the true cause of his death, whether it was equipment failure or pilot error, at the very least, he died doing what he loved.
Man, you talking about tragic, bro? And I ain't gonna hold you. When I do be seeing this, I'll be like, bro, that looks so lit. But that's something I never do in my wildest dreams.
Just like live through other people.
Yeah, I'm a very much so live through other people's, enjoy the experience through other people. You don't have to do everything because you see. I'm very much so. Even like, what's it, paragliding? When people be on the joint, they be like, I be like, that shit looks so lit. But hey, my black ass gonna stay right here, 10 toes on the ground, bro.
And I guess good way or positive way of looking at it, like you said, is that he passed doing something that
he loved
doing. He enjoyed doing. I guess that's the
positive way to spend it, but
it's just
so tragic, bro. Because I'm sure that he would have wanted to be in any other way, you know. That is what it is. It's like, I did die doing what I love to do, but that's not the way I wanted to go out.
Yeah.
I don't never want to go out doing something I love to do.
Yeah.
I want to go out peacefully, old, calm, and just of old age.
Yeah.
I want to live like, damn, bro. But that's one of the risks with this, and I'm sure he understood the risk, though.
Tevye Pustio was a 29-year-old pop singer in Romania. He was described as one of Romania's rising music stars and was building a bigger following with each passing year. Unfortunately, before he had the chance to make it big, his career was abruptly cut short on August 15, 2020. He was riding through the city of Ploiesti in a car with his wife behind the wheel. And as they were making their way through the city, Tevye decided to livestream his travel from his phone. This stream was just him smoking, listening to music, smiling, and having plain fun. But then, a few minutes into the stream, his wife stopped the car at a crossing of sorts. She looked both ways before driving forward, only for the stream to suddenly cut off, with Tevye screaming in horror being the last thing viewers witnessed. As it turned out, the two were crossing a railway line, and while his wife did look both ways, she somehow missed the train barreling towards them. By the time they noticed,
You know one thing I noticed when she looked both ways? She looked, it's kind of like she kind of looked and then looked back at the camera. And sometimes people still be distracted.
Yeah.
It's because...
Cause she looked the other way, and then she kind of looked again. But
No, she didn't look again.
Oh, was she looking at the camera?
She was looking at him
Oh,
on the
okay.
camera. She's not even, because she's kind of more...
You know how, like, cause it's like
She's driving, but she's not paying attention
it's like
to the road.
like second nature to just look because you're behind the wheel, but you're not really like.
I'm finna tell you, this is how I do.
Focused and cautious.
I look, and look again. Cause even when you look this way, you hit this way, you're like, all right, coast is clear this way. Now I'm look, coast clear. Some can now be popping out. So I try to look too, like at least double take or triple take. Mm-hmm. What you normally do? Just one?
No, I'm a very cautious driver. So even depending on where I'm at, and I know how cars are in certain areas, I'm like, I kind of like sit for a second just to make sure. And I will like, especially out here now, because I'm so traumatized.
Oh, you talking about from that situation?
Because people always run at light.
Yeah.
But no,
I really do it in the back.
I go back there too
going
because
to
people
going
come
to the Publix because it's that curve.
Around that curve. Yeah.
You're going around the curve, and then it's a blind side right there because it's a tree.
Yeah.
Like, well, not right there, but like look down, it's a tree bush area right there.
Yeah.
So some people might be coming
always
fast.
Like triple, double, and it's also probably. Yeah, I'm like I overdo things sometimes.
Ain't nothing wrong with it though. It's better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I ain't in no rush. Somebody
I
behind
always
me
say
think I'm
that.
taking too long, then baby, like, I don't know what to tell you.
I always say that, man.
I'm
I'm not
safe.
in, and I ain't gonna lie. That's the reason why I be like, we're so blessed to be able because, like, even when I used to go to 9 to 5, you always rushing, you rushing. Now since we are able to do it, bro, I'm not in no rush for it. Take your time.
I wasn't in no rush then, child. I used to be late.
Take
they
your
coming from break,
take your
late,
time,
getting
bro.
to work.
'cause
I will get there when I get there.
As it turned out, the two were crossing a railway line, and while his wife did look both ways, she somehow missed the train barreling towards
she's looking
them.
back at the
By the
camera.
time they
Sad,
noticed,
bro.
it was already too late. Their car was wrecked completely, resulting in Tavy tragically losing his life. What's crazy is that just a month before this crash, Tavy made a Facebook post stating, "One day the wrong train will take you to the right destination." His wife miraculously survived, but sustained several critical injuries. She was rushed to the hospital and put on life support, though I wasn't able to find any reports on what happened to her after that. The now tragic final memory Tavy left to his fans was him simply having fun and dancing to music.
Wow.
That's
Rest
tragic,
in
bro.
peace. It is so tragic. Yeah, rest in peace to everyone that lost their lives. Ooh.
Y'all spam us up, man. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment
Please
section
do.
down below, man. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We Are.
Kid and C.
We out.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar.